Hey, Sean. I'm Molly Clark. Nice to meet you. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to interview with you. When I read the opening lines of your email, it made me think, hey, I agree that we all need to adapt to change. So I thought I would answer your questions via video, just like the position I'd be applying for as telemedicine. But if you need these answers in writing too, I can send them. I've got most of it written down. So let's start with question number one. Have I been interviewed online before? Nope. First time for everything, though, right? Secondly, would I prefer full time or part time? I definitely would prefer full time, but I would accept part time if that's all that was able to be offered to me. What is my greatest strength and weakness? So I would definitely say, as a provider, my greatest strength is my emotional intelligence and interpersonal communication skills. I just very naturally and easily can connect really well with my patients and earn their trust. And those things combined then lead to improved patient satisfaction, which is huge, as we know. And I've seen and witnessed with my past patients that it increases patient compliance because the way I can, do my patient education, I actually am pretty passionate about patient education, and sorry, my cat. And that leads to my patients actually really understanding when I take the time with them to do that. So yeah, all that is then usually always leads to improved health, which is our goal. Biggest weakness is because I am so passionate and love what I do, helping others. I do have to every once in a while, keep in mind that healthcare does have a business component, and what I mean by that is, sticking to allotted times for appointment times and not getting behind just from spending too much time in one appointment with the patient, but rather when somebody does have a lot of needs, letting them know we'll schedule a visit, in a couple days, whenever, and address those, and kind of have structured goals for the appointment. So, how do I handle working under pressure? I thrive in it. Actually, I'm a doer, achiever, kind of busybody. So multitasking, deadlines, working under pressure, just kind of is my thing. I was the lead charge nurse for 6 years in downtown Chicago. And so anytime there was a medical emergency, I'd be the one running, like running a code and just being on when it really is important. Oh, yeah. What's the most difficult part of being a nurse practitioner? I actually really liked this question. I had to think. But I do know that I would say having to be the front lines with patients in our healthcare system. And by that, I mean, for example, if I know a patient, let's say, needs a colonoscopy, what is maddening and frustrating and hard as a nurse practitioner is that a insurance company employee, not a doctor, and who doesn't know my patient, medically, can deny that. And it just blows my mind. And as well, like how cost and a patient's financial status can impact their care, what kind of care they get, the treatment, can they afford the medication they actually need, or they have to get the alternative it's just hard being a passionate provider, knowing if they could only afford medication A, it would do so much more, or it'd be more beneficial than medication B, yeah. So that's what I would say is the hardest. Have I ever been in disagreement with a physician and about treatment and how to handle it? I have. So my very first job, it was an urgent care / primary care. There was one other physician that I worked alongside with. He'd been there, many years, much older than I am. And also kind of learned that he prefers men over women, just kind of had a preference in how he treated others. But anyway, I had a young patient, a child, who had otitis media, so inner ear infection. And I made sure to check the most current evidence-based practice on a database called UpToDate. And now the current guidelines for treating inner ear infections is to, long story short, treat it with a higher dose and kind of more aggressively, because research has found not treating inner ear infections in young children aggressively can lead to damage to the ear and hearing and etc. Down the road. So anyway, the dosage guidelines have increased for kids compared to, let's say, 15 years ago. So anyway, I provided the correct dosing per guidelines, and my supervising physician saw the dosing and confronted me very kind of disrespectfully and aggressively, and just said, "What are you doing? Are you stupid? This is not right." And I just calmly, I listened and heard what he said, and I just said, "Doctor, I was on, UpToDate per the current evidence-based practice, actually," and I kind of explained what I just said to you about treatment, and he goes, "I don't care, that's not right." And I said, "Doctor, the citation of all these research studies are within the last 3 years. This is accurate and what I'm going to prescribe." And he just kind of walked away. But I guess I handled it by sticking to what I know. I would never guess in my field. But if I know something's not right, if I know something needs to be changed, done differently, I have no problem standing up and speaking what's right. Right. So I do have a printer, scanner, and photocopier. And what do I understand by privacy and code of conduct? To me, code of conduct is it's an organization's mission, vision, values, ethics, kind of all combined into what they want or desire their employees, how to act, how to guide their decisions. It's a standard for how we should conduct ourselves and what we should believe in and what will guide, like I said, decisions and how we behave. The code of conduct also I think allows for the organization also to kind of have a measurable or measure the performance, is the company actually is it doing or what they say they want to do, or are they who they said they want to be? And so that's important. Privacy is of utmost important. Patient privacy, HIPAA, are obviously the law and ethically very important. But also, I think privacy extends beyond just, someone's chart or something. It's their personal privacy. It's if I was in physical, with them physically, it would be their physical privacy. It's also their decisional privacy, that they're allowed to make decisions based on whatever reason, culture, religion, and there's relational privacy. If my patient doesn't want their husband to know something, I have no right to tell anyone. So privacy is important, is a huge part and standard, I guess, as a provider, and I understand that and respect that. How would I like to be paid? I think I'd prefer bi-weekly, bi-weekly, but I'm open to either. And I'd direct deposit, probably, definitely, if that's possible. Yeah. And then what can I bring to this company? Goodness, I could go on and on. As you may tell, I don't mind talking. But I tried to be mindful of your time. I know you're probably very busy, so I have about 4 bullet points here. Number 1, I think I'm very sure that I could increase your patient volume. At the first job I mentioned, it was an urgent care, primary care. When I started, I only saw the walk-ins for the urgent care. And within about, I think it was, 5-6 months, I had already developed it was anywhere from 8 to 12 scheduled patients a day that were calling and requesting me as their preferred provider. And almost all of them were ones that met me once at the urgent care appointment and then asked, can you be my doctor? And of course, and then word of mouth is, I've learned, again, through my experience, is huge. When someone has a great experience appointment with a doctor regarding such intimate, your health is very intimate to you, and it's, and so I think when patients have a good experience and they trust someone and they truly believe they care and want to do what's best for them, they tell people, and then people come join. So yeah, I think I'd be successful at keeping patients and getting patients back and getting new patients. Second, I would definitely bring a positive, optimistic, eager, enthusiastic, and ambitious energy to the company as a part of the team. I love questioning and understanding things, meaning like I always want to improve, and I enjoy trying to tackle if something's not working, let's say a process doesn't work or some kind of method could be better. I like brainstorming and thinking outside the box, and just not settling and not just doing things or sticking to ways or old methods, because that's what it is. If something could be better and needs to be changed, I like being on the front lines of doing that. Checking my notes here. And with that ambitious energy, I think a benefit of me having recently graduated with my doctorate from the number 2 ranked DNP, doctoral graduate program in the country, I have a fresh body, of knowledge, information, new evidence-based practice skills, and yeah, just that new, fresh out of school, I guess, mindset that is helpful to kind of re-energize and bring to a table. Next, I would be, as an employee, I would bring, or you guys would be acquiring a dedicated, loyal, responsible, dependable, like I said, hardworking healthcare professional that maintains that professional composure, but has a very warm, tender, and caring bedside manner that sometimes is more important than people who aren't in my field or in my position. They don't understand how important that is for patients, and you will definitely be getting that if I can be lucky enough to be a part of Open Care. Lastly, I would just be a long-term provider that's, like I said, loyal and wants to be successful, wants to improve things, wants to be a part of the growing healthcare industry on the right side of that. And your company, looking over the website, I really like what you guys stand for and what I read. The no politics, really transparency, holding each other accountable, teamwork, innovative thinking, all of that is inspiring and what I want to be a part of, and what I believe myself is how healthcare should be. I like that you guys are kind of you're eager, you're trying to reach people and like I said, improve how healthcare is delivered. And I just really hope we can talk further. I could go on and on, but like I said, I'll try to be respectful of your time. If you have any other questions, please let me know. The only last thing I wanted to say is, in my previous email, I do have experience with telemedicine. So at my job that I I was furloughed back in maybe April. And before I got furloughed, I was doing phone calls and video calls to patients with COVID, just for their regular primary care experiences. So I'm familiar. I like doing it. It's fun to interact with patients in their, not in the structure or constriction of an office. Patients are just more comfortable, and I think you can connect with them sometimes on a better level and easier level than them getting nervous about being in a doctor's office. So, yeah, I can't wait to hear back. I hope this video wasn't too out of the blue for you, and let me know what else information or anything else I can do. Thanks, Sean. Have a good day.